Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Natalia, and today we will be talking about dissolving very deep patterns. So, the video, I actually got inspired today because I'm going for a very, very old, deep process myself, and it has been very, very difficult today. To really navigate those very overwhelming, and I don't know how to really describe those feelings, but they are really very, very deep. That's all I can say. It feels like they are very heavy, and it feels like there is this density to them. The emotions, the feelings, the patterns I'm navigating, they feel very old. It's like they have been with me for a very long time. So because of how I have been showing up today, and the last probably few years, but today was really something, it was a very important day because I realized that I was able to be in those patterns without trying to change them. And that really inspired me to make this video. I really want to share with you what came through while I was navigating these deep patterns. So I guess I want to talk about the steps, but I really want to talk about what's really when we feel like we're going through something that has been weighing us down for the longest time. Perhaps each time we feel it, it becomes a little bit lighter, a little bit easier, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you must feel it. You must go into the depth of the pattern and really dive very deep and really be in the darkness for some time in order for it to dissolve. So I would just want to walk you really quick through a few steps. We are actually, it just happens organically. We're naturally will go through these steps, but I would like to bring more awareness for you so you can look at these, so to say, steps that are happening through the navigation of our own process. So the first step, we always become aware of a pattern, right? And the way we become aware, we simply, we bring more awareness by feeling. So by feeling our emotions. So let's say you get angry a lot. So you keep, as a child, you keep getting angry and angry and angry for whatever reason, right? But there is a point in your life when you actually become aware of the fact that you feel anger. Once that happens, you actually know that the anger keeps showing up. You notice that in certain situations or from time to time, you become more aware when it's happening. And again, the more inner work you do, the more you commit to this journey of self-improvement, self-realization, self-growth, the more you will, the quicker the process will be. However, this normally happens anyway, not naturally, as the vibrations of this planet increase, as our bodies increase in frequencies, we will see ourselves going through these steps. So as I said, becoming aware. So you become aware by feeling the feeling. So I gave an example of being angry. For me, it was anxiety. Actually, anxiety that I felt in the body, in the mind, and it was very tangible this time to me. I've been feeling anxiety basically my whole life, so it's not a new feeling. However, the way I experienced it today was probably very new to me. It was like a new level of awareness, and I was able to really notice myself when I'm experiencing anxiety, notice myself how I want to numb it, how I want to run from it, how I want to do certain things to get out of it. And by doing that, I was just bringing more and more awareness to the way I'm feeling, to the way how I want to run from it, to the way how I want to numb it, to the way I simply want to get out of it. When I was doing it, I realized that this is the only way we can really dissolve a pattern, okay? So we become aware, and then we ask ourselves, what's really underneath that emotion? So what's underneath that anger we are experiencing? And the answer might not come the first time. That's a very important aspect of the whole process, is that we don't necessarily will get all of those answers right away. It might take us some days, weeks, even years. Some long life patterns can take literally many years. So we have to be very patient with ourselves. We have to practice self-compassion and really a lot of patience, because it's almost like something that has been living within you. It's like a consciousness energy, a certain energy has been living there for such a long time, and it's stuck. It's deeply stuck. So you really need to practice self-compassion, self-love, and that's why all of the beautiful tools like yoga, meditation, flow. I love various types of guided meditations or sound healings. These tools really bring us back and remind us that we are worthy of a self-love. We are worthy of a self-care and self-compassion. So definitely ask yourself, what is underneath the emotion? And if you don't get the answer right away, that's fine. Maybe the next time you feel the emotion, you will receive a message, or it will dawn onto you what's underneath that emotion. But for right now, just be curious. It's more like you're asking the question and you're not really demanding the answer right away. It's more like being curious, maybe journaling about it, noticing when the patterns come up, in what situations, what triggers them, but really more with an open heart, not with the anxious kind of answer demanding attitude, but more from an open heart, curiosity, and really letting go of attachment to get the answer on your timing. The universe is really so brilliant. It's miraculous how it's guiding us through our own process, and it's so divinely orchestrated that we don't even have to worry about when the pattern will be dissolved, because it will be. At some point, if you really hold the intention in your heart that you would like to dissolve your toxic patterns, that you are on the healing journey and you deserve the healing, you deserve the peace and love and complete, calm in your body, you will get there. It just might be not on your timing, so it's very important to be very patient with yourself. So what is underneath the emotion? What's underneath the anger you're experiencing? What's underneath the anxiety? I noticed that underneath the anxiety I have been feeling, what's underneath is really the belief, or perhaps it's like a thought or something that's telling me that I am not worthy. And that has been with me ever since I was a little girl, and it's something that I have experienced throughout my life often. That's kind of what my perception of the reality when I was a child was, and it really has been kind of energy got stuck inside of my body, inside of my being. And now it's up to me to really reparent myself and really get to to get to the place where I am able to really become friends with those patterns and with this thought, with this feeling of being unworthy. Because at the end of the day, I know that that's not true. And I know that the wound, the core wound that's coming up, that I am not worthy, is not really real. It's basically an illusion. It's basically a feeling that has been stuck and has been following me everywhere I go. And until I really dive deep and I become friends with this thought and I actually offer love to this little aspect of me that's feeling unworthy, this is when the magic will happen, okay? So you ask yourself what's underneath the emotion, you kind of dive deep and see what you find. And again, be patient, patience, patience, patience. And then we go to observation. So we become, when we have a patience, when we have tools to help us navigate through the process, we are able to observe. Simply observe what you are in, what situations these patterns show up. And again, over and over again, each time you notice this pattern, what's underneath this thought, what's underneath that feeling, what's underneath, what's the core wound. You want to get to the core wound of anything you're feeling, okay? So observe, observe, observe. And you might have to do it a long time. It's a process. It's really about the process. I can't stress it enough. When we're in the anxious mode that we want to heal something, that we want to resolve something, we're getting impatient with ourselves, and we become, the energy kind of perpetuates the very thing that we want to heal. So it's very important to come back to the tools, come back to our patience, come back to observation, and simply knowing that this is already happening. We are healing each time we bring awareness, each time we ask the question what's underneath, each time we observe, we are healing a part of this aspect that wants to be healed fully, okay? That we want to heal fully. And then, very important, remind yourself, and you might have to do it throughout the whole process and over and over again, that you are not that pattern, you are not the trauma, you are not the wound you are taking care of right now, bringing love to, bringing awareness to. That's not you. You as a being is pure unconditional love. That's all you are, okay? You are none of it. This is just something that's in your body in this moment, and it's only here because of your lens of perception in the past. That's all it is. And once we realize it, and I think you can't, from my experience, I believe you can't really just realize it in your mind. It's something that needs to be felt with your heart space. So it's something that you need to, with time, with the steps I already mentioned, when you practice these steps, you eventually get to the point where you're like, oh, wow, I know exactly. It's like the feeling. It's a feeling in your body. It's like a sensation, knowing. That's the word I was looking for. It's a knowing. It's a knowing in your being that you are none of it. But in this moment, you are experiencing whatever it is. So for me, let's go back to the example with a very, very unsettling, very deep core wound came up, and it brought me almost to, it did bring me to tears, but it really brought me almost to the very unempowered, very weak, very helpless little person And it was so overwhelming that it was almost hard to breathe. I literally had to remind myself to breathe today. And in those reminders, in this process that was very, very dark, so I know how it feels. It almost, if you ever felt like you just want to hide under the pillow and scream, maybe you need to do it. That's exactly what my higher self was communicating to me today. I literally had a moment where I felt like I just want to disappear. It was the feeling, overwhelming feeling that I simply want to disappear. Like, it was so hard to feel that. It was so heavy. So my higher self came in and told me, cry, punch, do whatever you need to do while going through this, okay? Of course, within reason. We don't want to hurt other people. But if you need to go to your bedroom, if you need to lock the door and scream in the pillow, cry, whatever you need to do it. That's self-care. In these moments, in these darkest moments of our lives, when we are really going so deep that it's pitch black and you're all on your own. There's no one to rescue anymore. No one to rescue. This is when the magic, this is when the transformation really happens. I really wanted to remind you, I was guided to make this video today because I feel like so many of us are going through this deep, very deep old pattern, and we're so frustrated because how intense it feels, it's almost unbearable. But it is bearable. It feels unbearable, but it is bearable. We are designed, we as the strong, sovereign, independent beings, we are able to get through this. In fact, we are designed to get through this. My deepest belief is that we incarnated on this earth. I know for a fact that I incarnated on this earth in order to dissolve my patterns, dissolve my all of the shit I endured, basically heal it so I can also help others on this path. And this is my mission. This is my purpose in this lifetime. So I can become this unconditional love. Even though I endured lots of trauma, lots of hurt, I have lots of, my lens of perception at that time really made me believe things about myself that are very, very hateful and very discouraging, lots of insecurities. And the core wound that I am not worthy is a deep one. It's probably the deepest. It's like the very core of my darkness. So I know exactly how dark and how heavy and how absolutely unbearable it can feel. But I am here to remind you today that you can do this. We are so strong, we are so brave, and we are so courageous that we can make through literally anything. The trick is to really allow yourself to get through the process without numbing it, without trying to change it, and without running away from it. And that's very, very courageous. That's the highest level of bravery, I believe. Because how many people actually have the courage to do that? How many people will really dive so deep that their heart spaces are basically ripped open so they can become whole again? I just feel like this is such an important message for everyone today, and I really want to share this. We're all in this together. Even though we are healing different core wounds, we're dealing with different scenarios in life, with different situations, but at the core they are so similar. So please share with me if this resonated. Share with me if you had similar experiences, if you're navigating a deep process, and how you're what steps are you taking, and if perhaps my steps are helping you in any way. And also please share this video with anyone who could benefit. And if you liked this video, like, and also subscribe to my channel so I am able to make more videos and inspire you and walk alongside with you through all of this darkness. And at the end of it, we are all light. I love you.